I actually spent it with my my home girl. Well, all right, let's get right down to it. Why did you not spend it with somebody who you were in an emotionally profound, committed relationship? Also, I'm going to announce the first winner of the prize. I said on Sunday I was going to announce the first of many of these to come. They're going to be bi-weekly. So every 2 weeks, I'm going to announce another prize winner. The catch is going to lag behind. So I'm going to announce the prize today. And then 2 weeks from now, I'm going to announce the next prize and then presumably the first catch. Okay? Yeah. Shout out to everybody who put in an application. If you want to apply to be the prize, go to my website, bykevinsamuels.com, and fill in the application. I got to be honest. If you are over 40 years old as a woman, no need to apply. Because this isn't for that. Single, childless, professional, fit, attractive. Now, I know people want to say these things are subjective, but if you couldn't imagine yourself, due respect to some of the applications I've seen, this is like The Bachelor and The Bachelorette. There isn't really subjective. If you couldn't imagine yourself being on ABC's The Bachelor, there's really no need to send it in because just not the contest for you. Okay. I'm trying to be as polite as I can, but some things I've been seeing, I'm like, why are you 60-year-old women and women who are 350 pounds with 4 kids? And I'm like, it's not a prize. I'm sorry, it's not a prize. A prize means a prize. All right, so back to what we're saying. Ladies, why'd you spend Valentine's Day without a blank? That's what I want to talk about. I mean, I want to talk to you ladies. Let's see who wants to get in. Let's see who wants to get in. Now, remember, what I need you to do is I need you to make sure you have your camera with your light source in front of you. You need to have your microphone to where I can hear you. Because I'm not trying to, we have a little fun back and forth, but the purpose of what I do is to actually help people. To help men get what they want, help women get what they want. It's not to insult people. It's not to roast folks. Yes, there's going to be contention. Yes, there's going to be back and forth. I'm still trying to figure this hat shit out too, people, so work with me. But I've always liked Keith and James hats. They are some of the most dope. This is the king in that sandy, and it's in the sandy beige. Hats are always been dope. And it's cool when you wear them like red, when you wear them with Christian Louboutin red bottoms. Yeah. Red bottoms with the red bottom hat. Okay, let's get into it. Ladies, if you want to join on, go ahead and click the request. I only ask you to do one thing. Try to come in with good faith and understand something. I'll be nice to you if you're nice to me. Just don't overtalk me. Okay. Into myself. Okay. Oh, I'm so sorry. You want me to be into you? Bye-bye. I think it's interesting that, women can sit around and preen and talk about themselves all they want to, but if you actually just say you like something on you, you're supposed to be, y'all don't get enough of trying to shame men, okay? If you're going to come over here and try to shame, insult, guilt, and the need to be right against men, me or men in particular, men in general, wrong place for you. It's not the platform for that. All right, so first things first. Whose name do I see in here? And you need to be over, I need you to be over 21 as well. That would be nice. You got to at least be able to vote. Over 21. Why? Because some of these conversations are a bit too soon for some of you guys. Here we go. Oh my. Some of these names, and some of these names are interesting. Here we go. Next week I will be in Dallas, and then next week I'll be in Texas. Starting out in Dallas, ended up in Houston. Houston promises to be an interesting time. Richardson. I don't see you popping up here. There we go. All right, Angel, you're up. Send request. H-Town. We're going to kick it in H-Town, man. It's crawfish season 2. Ooh. Love me some crawfishes. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good. Happy Galentine's Day to you.
Happy Galentine's Day.
That's for y'all, not for me. So, what you got for me? What you got for me?
Well, I spent mine alone without a relationship on purpose. Okay. I think sometimes you need to really look at self-love and self-care and special times when you can show love to yourself, you should consider that.
Okay.
So I kind of did it on purpose. I figured,
I'm listening.
I don't know. I just
well, how long
been through a divorce.
Have you been single?
I have been single for a little over a year.
Were you married or were you just in a relationship?
I was married for almost 14 years.
Oh, okay. And you guys recently divorced?
Yep. Yes.
That's kind of different than most folks, though.
Yeah, I think so. But being single, newly single, it's had its runs on me. So
how old are you?
I am 37.
Oh my. So you got married in your early 20s. Why'd you guys decide to divorce?
I would say that I was.
Hold the camera.
I'm kind of hold a step. Okay. All right. Well, I was married to what you would say a high value man, but it became very difficult for me to maintenance that man because it was a lot of.
For you to maintenance him?
Yes.
Okay.
I think my situation was a little bit unhealthy.
Why?
To be honest, I was kind of maybe a object. It wasn't healthy, and I don't think I was seen as a partner. I was seen more as an object, and so it was just more of what I did. I do. I have 2. I have a son and a daughter.
Did you have to work?
Yeah. I did not. I wanted to, but both my kids were born with cancer, so it was like we kind of rolled into it. Where
I'm a cancer survivor myself, so
yes. So it's like it.
You were considered an object. What does that mean?
Yeah. Well, that's the way I felt. It was very, very more so of what I provided, more so than who I was as a person. So once I realized that he's earning the money, so it was more of like he controlled everything to a point where it was almost unhealthy for me because desires and wants that I had was of no, it wasn't going to happen, basically. What
they do? Okay. See, I hear women say things like this, and I'm always curious because it's usually one-sided. Yeah, the way you're telling the story is you're basically a prisoner.
It wasn't necessarily a prison, but it was where what we purchased, where we went, where we traveled, the family time, the holidays.
What about it?
It typically had to appease what he wanted to do, where he wanted to go, who he'd want to be around.
Exactly.
So it was
Exactly.
kind of like
Well, he was providing for you and his family.
Yeah.
So it's funny because Aisha Curry's in the news these days. And Aisha Curry, Steph Curry's wife, you know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Yeah, she was in the news last year for talking about, she's not happy because she doesn't get a lot of attention on Instagram. Now she got married as a virgin.
I remember that.
Yeah, and she's got like the perfect situation, and now she's running around thotting it up. Aisha Curry's going to be divorced. They're going to be divorced probably in a few years because
That's unfortunate.
well, what do you ladies want? Because many women would love to have not to have to work, to have a man who can provide enough to care for two children that were born with a life-threatening illness. And any man who is a provider is going to control what he provides. Anyone.
Yeah.
So
I wanted to be seen more as an equal, not as a possession. Like I know. So it was just harder for me to stay in a situation where
okay, so let me
I didn't feel
okay. You want to be seen more as an equal, and in our community, that tends to happen often. Women, even when you have what so many other women want, you get it, and it's still not good enough. Now you're out here dating.
Let me reword it. I'll reword it. I wanted to be seen more as a human who has desires and wants, not just duties and responsibilities. Like, because I do work so hard, even though I don't make income, it's a full-time job. And I'm not saying that it's not, but it was a full-time job. It's I had to travel with him. I had to always look a certain way. I had to do a lot of, and so it's like,
so what do you think the world's got for you then?
I wasn't looking for what the world had. It was what I wanted.
No. Now what I'm saying is now you're divorced.
Now that I'm divorced, I'm still looking for what can I do for me. Before I was married, I was very self-sufficient, and I didn't.
Before you were
married, that just came from how I grew up.
So again, before you were married, you were very what? Self-sufficient?
Yeah, I took care of myself. I took care of him. When we first
22, 21.
When we first got married, I had a full-time job. I was in school full-time. He moved in with me.
Okay, that's fine. But hold on.
So I had to adjust.
Hold on. Okay, at 22, you were both young. He was starting out. You were starting out. You were in a better position. But it got to a point to where he was doing all that stuff. So the time you had to do it early on. See, well, let me just fast forward. Let me fast forward, honestly. Because I know how many women will take this story, and I don't know if you're used to talking to men, but many women will play violins for you. What I'm looking at as a woman who had a marriage to a provider male who was doing what any provider male would typically do. But you want provider males to act like beta males. You want them to be.
Well, I don't.
Let me finish
I don't want to be told that. Go ahead.
Okay. Let me understand exactly, because you got married young. You've been married most of your life, your adult life anyway. Now you're divorced. Even when you got your self-love and you got your crown and everything else, you still got to come out here into the world with 2 kids. What do you think the world's got waiting for you? If you ever decide you want to have something with another man, what do you want? Equality?
I don't even know if I want equality. I just want to feel like I'm a voice in things. I I didn't like the part of not being able to have a voice in
What do
things.
you
I
mean?
think
What
that's
do you
what it
mean have
was.
no voice?
It was so bad sometimes to me. Not that he's a bad person; he was an amazing father. It was the control. It was the all the way down to what I spent at the grocery store. Like I had to be, if I gassed up, where I went with the gas. If I didn't make it last for a certain, it was
That's
so,
excessive.
we had more, we had more than enough,
That's
but
excessive.
I
Did you
couldn't
guys?
go to, I know
Okay. Did you guys?
it was,
Okay.
I felt like it was a little,
Did you guys go to any sort of marital counseling before divorce?
yes. He didn't want to at first. He just wanted me to get over it. He wanted me to, this is what you chose. This is how it's going to be. I'm going to know what you're doing,
Did
where
you
you
guys
at.
go? How long did you guys go to counseling?
Um, Before I filed the separation, we tried 2 times, and it lasted. The first time, it was a couple of retreats, but the last one was real counseling. I think we went for about 6 months, and
Okay.
then he was like, "I'm not."
And the
So
counselors, and the counselor, the second time around, uh, they have to focus on both of you guys.
right,
All right. Was there any improvement on his side?
he made some efforts, and I made some efforts to understand his background. He is very alpha. I knew that meeting him, that's what I was attracted to. So it was like we were trying to
Yeah,
understand each other
let
because
me
we
get
had to
a
grow
stop
up.
it. Everybody, all you women in the chat room hollering abuse, knock that shit off. Because
It was, I don't think it was abusive. I
that's
think
the
it was
thing.
just,
Women are so quick to holler abuse just because a man is being a man. And especially in the black community, you want men to be so damn soft to where when a man is just being what it is, you want him to fight racism, white supremacy, build Wakanda, yet you want him to rub your feet and everything else. Y'all need to shut your mouth sometimes and listen. Because what y'all call abuse is
right.
called Tuesday in most other cultures. This is why we're at the bottom. Because anyway,
I mean, it's true.
to the
There's some
women, I'm
truth
talking
to
to the
that.
women who keep
Yeah.
yelling abuse, 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 abuse. Because
Yeah.
that
It,
any relationship is going to require a balance. Now, if he was excessively controlling and to where it was became micromanaging everything down to how much he spent. Now that is definitely over the top. Um, the counselor that you guys were saying, did the counselor recommend separation?
she did at the end of just because of
Okay,
how I was having trouble processing it and how it was reading towards our children.
okay. Well, that's what the
So,
counselor
yeah.
recommended. I'm not going to sit. But here's the thing. All right, put a comma there, put a period there, and move forward. Um, had you dated anybody before him? Seriously?
Not really.
Okay.
Not
And
really. Not really.
how old is your youngest?
She's 11.
11. Okay. So you're out of the house in 7 years. You'll be what, roughly 40 by that time. Um, what? Well, I would say going forward, um, whatever kind of interaction, whatever kind of relationship you want to have with a man, um, do you want a man who is going to be a provider male, or do you want more of a partnership? I mean, complete partnership, financially and everything else, meaning your money is required, not optional. It's required.
I think that I would probably feel more comfortable with that one. I don't think that I'm seeking it out that way, but I would be more comfortable having earnings, feeling like but I feel like that doesn't make a difference. If a person is, I can't judge where I'm going on what I've been through, and I can't like say that that's
Well, I mean, the
difficult,
reason I ask is because
but
those are two very different outcomes. I mean, there are
right.
more. I mean, I don't know what kind of standard living you're used to, but do you? You didn't work during the marriage?
It was a pretty high standard. He was.
So you didn't
He
work
made
during
a
the marriage.
quarter mil a year.
Okay, so but you didn't work during.
I've
But You didn't work in a corporate environment in the work world.
not into the last. No, not at
So
all. I own my
what are you
own
doing
business.
now?
Most of it. I'm a baker. I've had my own home based
Okay.
bakery business.
So going forward, because that's what provider men come with. Now I will say that my childhood best friend, they had some very dysfunctional attitudes regarding money. Their money blueprint was very warped, in my opinion, to where they pinched pennies till they screamed. That's excessive. But if you go forward and decide, there are far more men out here that are working, making $40,000, $50,000 a year. And if you want to be a partner, you have a far larger segment of men who are out there making that. But you will be working until your 60s, till retirement age. It's always going to be a trade-off. It's always going to be a trade-off. So while there may be, like I say, women in the chat room screaming their heads off, you come to my show and plenty of women say, I would love to have a man making this kind of money so I could be over here. But they don't always know what comes with that on either extreme. What you're doing right now, can you take care of yourself financially the rest of your life?
What I'm doing right now, with my son being special needs, it's gonna be an interesting journey.
Okay. So and this is where it starts to get real. Where it starts to get real. Because people can bang on the drum and be, I am woman, hear me roar. But the reality is, if you choose to separate from a man, especially after your child reaches his majority, 7 years. How old are you?
37.
37. 7 years, you'll be 45. You still got arguably 35 to 40 years more. If your baking business can't sustain you, what are you going to do?
That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. And that's just where I'm at.
Well, I'm asking because I'm asking because I'm assuming most people won't ask difficult questions like that, because most people hear what considers to be an untenable situation in a marriage and just tell you to get out. But then after you're out, what is there? Because untenable goes a lot of ways. I mean, stress of having to pay a house note, mortgage, insurance, and all that other stuff is a different kind of pressure. Yeah, it may be a pain in the ass to have somebody who's micromanaging every dollar, but at least there are enough dollars. That's one pressure. But there's another pressure where there ain't enough dollars. And that man may be as open and willing and have the heart of gold and everything else, but when you don't have enough dollars, which one? I mean, those are things.
It was very difficult to leave because of that, and it was a lot of pushback from my mother and other family members, knowing that my kids do require a lot of special care. I did receive a lot of scrutiny for leaving leaving the comfortability of and the security. Thankfully,
comfortability, I think, sounds like an oversimplification. It is comfortable, but it's also the security. Was your counselor male or female?
Female. But she stayed with him, really. Like he liked her, and he used to go to individual sessions. So she wasn't biased.
How are you guys doing as far as co-parenting?
We do okay. It gets a little. I think we do well. I'm not going to complain about it. I think we do really well.
Do you have primary custody?
I do.
Um,
Only because of his work schedule. He still tries to see them as much as he can.
so you get child support, but any spousal support?
I am getting spouse support right now, but that runs
Yep.
out shortly.
What state are you in?
Yeah. We're in Tennessee.
Okay, yeah, that runs out. Um, well, um, I can hear some of the things you're saying, but I'm also going to just be the realist. Life is life is about trade-offs and compromises. And did you graduate from college?
I have an associate's.
Many of you did. You weren't really in the workforce, so at this age, you really are starting. You'd be starting from entry level. Well, I hope it works out for you. I hate to hear situations where men actually are in the position to provide, but it becomes untenable. Um,
Yeah, it's
I lean to. I'm gonna move you over here because I don't want to speak about your situation. But I really think that these previous generations, we just made a weaker stuff. Other generations had to deal with real things, real racism, real white supremacy, diseases. I mean, polio, wars, and we're just not happy. It's far too easy for us to just leave stuff. And I'm not speaking in your situation. I'm just speaking in general because
in general. I know.
because I've sat in too many places to hear stories being told compellingly on both sides. But at the end of the day, you still have a broken family, and you have two people who are going to go out there in the world, and once the kids are out of the house, there's still going to be a practical thing of how you get through the rest of your life if you're having to provide for yourself on just your income. I would say, right now, while you have spousal support and child support coming in, um, you need to get your skills up to be able to earn enough to take care of yourself for the rest of your life. Because a baking business is it's a luxury.
It fluctuates, and it fluctuates a lot. Yeah, especially right now.
And what's coming, the housing thing that's about to come, and all this stuff that's about to hit in March. Um, those are the kind of things that people can do without. Their wants, needs, and desires. You're at the desire category. You're not at the need or even the want. You're at the desire. And it's the last hired, first fired. So, all right, I'm going to go on to the next person. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Yeah, folks, I'm going to say, ladies, y'all are so quick to holler. Abuse, 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 abuse. My dog. Stay away from me. I don't. You want men, seems like many women want men who are millionaires, who sing the song and doing Joe. All the things your man won't do. You want Babyface and Joe and the dude from Power and all rolled into one. Unrealistic. All the things your man won't do. All right, if you want to get on, go ahead and send a request. I'm still gonna say what I said. It's one thing to talk about financial abuse, huh? How many of y'all have actually had to miss meals? Missing meals. And you know, one thing that I found interesting is I was glancing in the chat room. One thing is I was glancing in the chat room how easy and how quickly women are to just tell women to leave. Just go back to the chat room and listen to how quickly women are. You just need to leave. You need to leave. Don't tell women to just walk out when the temperature dropped below 10 degrees. You just need to leave. Y'all just need to end it. And you got nothing for these folks. All right. So let's get to it. Happy Galentine's Day. If you have a private account and I can't see who you are, I don't know what you want me to do. I need to at least be able to see. I need to at least be able to see what's going on with who you are. And what in the message that women send when they say that to other women is just jump out of your situations. Why do women get pushback from family members? I listen to everything. If you're getting family members and everybody else saying stay, work this, I think oftentimes you ladies need to realize that y'all just talk, but ain't none of y'all gonna be there to support these people. One more broken family out here. Let's go from the top. Started from the bottom, now we here. That's not easy. Marriage with kids. Yeah, never ask a single woman for a relationship advice. Leave that alone. What's Galentine's Day? What it says? What it meant? What it sounded like? Gals Valentines? I really hope we get to the day where when women are talking about leaving their relationship, you start hearing more women say, you need to stay. You need to stay with your man. Stand by your man. Tammy Wynette. When are more sisters going to be like Tammy Wynette? Stand by your man. Stand. And it's funny, especially being so Christian, and we love the songs, when you've done all you can do is stand. Yeah. I love singing those church songs. And it used to amaze me being in church, seeing so many black women get so moved when the preacher's preaching or when the choir is singing. But then walk out, and then these very women, by the time they hit the parking lot, necks rolling, fingers popping, I'm like, what the hell? Stand. Tell me why that's white. Hey, let's talk about it. You cannot build. I'm not talking about the woman that just left. I don't know her situation. But we got to be honest, ladies. Y'all, even I was talking yesterday that if you're filing for divorce at an 80% rate, damn, how y'all expect men to do anything with that? You can't work with somebody who's just leaving. And if they can just get advice from women in general, oh yeah, just get out, leave, bounce. This might be interesting. Let's do it. Let us do it. Your request has been blocked. Well, maybe, I don't know. Hello?
Hello.
Hi, you have water running or something?
Oh no, that's my daughter. Finny, stop doing that. Hey, wait a second. Okay, sorry.
You have on Bluetooth or something?
I don't know. You want to take it off?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
All right, cool. All right. You wanted to get on because of what? You wanted to answer the question, conversation or confession? What's going on? Did you spend Valentine's Day by yourself?
Yes, I did. Not because I
You
wanted
and your
to.
daughter?
Me, I have
Well,
a son too. Yeah.
okay, 2 kids.
Oh my God.
You just that's that 1 + 1 is 2.
Right.
Okay, you didn't want to. How old are you? Y'all don't get out of
I'll
these
be
comments.
32 on the 28th.
Yeah, get out
That's
of the
fine.
comment
That's fine.
section. Get out of the comments. Y'all be
No,
28.
it's fine. It's just funny to me.
Yep.
But I mean, I'm interested. But that's cool. That's fine. Now I'll be 32 on the 28th of this month.
Okay. Were you married to their father? Is it you have
To
child? You
their
have two
father.
kids by the same man?
Yes.
Okay. Were you
We were
married to him?
married. I married him when I was like 22. We were married like 10 years, but he was murdered 2 years ago. But we had split up right before he was murdered. So
Murdered?
living that lifestyle. So that's why we separated, because I had to do what was best for me and my kids. And I'm like, that's not a safe life, you know?
What street lifestyle?
Right.
Were you in it too? Don't
No.
knock on yourself. All right.
Oh no, I wasn't. The tattoos might throw you off, but I'm really not. No.
I don't know. I ask questions. I don't make a judgment.
Okay.
But you have two. You were married for 10 years. About then before he got murdered. Sorry to hear that. Was he always in that life?
Pretty much. I would say pretty much. He did. My story should be a movie, like a Tyler Perry movie.
Okay.
He did like 9. He did 9 years. So he was in prison from age like 17 to 27, and then, but I known him since 9 years old, and then we ended up me not having a very supportive family and very intact family. Like I was out there young and not knowing what I'm doing. So that's how I end up getting involved with him and end up
Okay.
getting married.
But hold on. You knew he was in the street life.
The thing is, I didn't know. I didn't know. Like when I was dating him, when he was
All right.
incarcerated,
When you were dating, and
I'm
what you
leaving.
found out he was. You hold on. You knew you knew he was in the street life before you got pregnant.
Right. Yeah, that's true. Yes, you're right. Yep.
All right. Then that's all I'm
And
concerned.
I ended up okay. And I ended up as soon as
Let
okay.
me because I don't know if there's a delay with the Bluetooth or not, so you might want to take that off.
Oh yeah. Can you hear
Is
me?
that I can now
Okay.
because you're how old?
I'll be 32 in 2 weeks.
32, and your ex is dead, and you have two kids.
I have 2 kids. Yes.
And I'm gonna tell you, you said you spent this Valentine's Day by yourself, and you didn't want to. And my thing is, I say this on my YouTube show: the world does not owe you or me understanding. They don't
Right.
care. The world doesn't care.
Right.
And if you're out here and you want to, do you want to have more kids?
No, not I don't. I don't. Unless I'm open to it, but I really don't. It's a lot of it's hard work, you know. But if I find a man that you describe that wants to take care of the home, and I'd be basically his support system and do my house duties, housewife. Like I wouldn't mind having another kid under those circumstances.
Okay. Were you raised to be a housewife?
I wasn't, but growing up, I pretty much was been on my own since 16. My mom, my mom, she was on and off drugs. She passed away in 2010. Right before she passed away, she was clean the longest. Like it was 5 years. Nobody thought she would ever do drugs again. Was just about to, I think I just had graduated high school, and then when she relapsed, I had to take. Well, I didn't have to, but I did. I
What was
took
her drug of
responsibility.
choice?
Say that again.
What was her drug of choice?
Um, I don't even know. That's what's crazy.
Heroin,
It's a
crack,
lot of stuff I don't
meth.
know. I know.
Was she an IV
I don't
drug
know.
user? Was she an
Say it again.
IV drug user? Okay, you need to check your speaker to see.
No. She used pipe. I know. I seen her do that one time. That was the last time she relapsed, when she did that. And then when I got my first credit card, I
Okay,
had to move me and
okay.
my
So
little
let me
brother and
slow down,
my.
ma'am.
Sorry.
Um, check your Instagram and make sure, because it seems like you're having a problem hearing me. There must be a delay or something.
I can hear you. You can hear
Okay.
me.
Yeah, I can. Okay. So, have you ever sat down with a counselor or a therapist?
No, I have not.
You need to.
And then, I agree. And I
Like tomorrow.
actually, yeah.
It's not an
And
insult. It's not an insult, man, because even right
no,
here,
I'm not
you
taking it
have
as
a
an
lot
insult.
you want to get out, but
Right.
you're 32 years old with two kids, and your mother's passed, your ex is passed, and as tragic as that is, you're still here. And you're going to have to figure out how you're going to get from 32 to the grave and have a life worth living and thriving. You can't undo what you've already had done up to this point. Plus, you have a boy and a girl who are relying on you, so you need to be able to sit down with somebody to get all this stuff out of your mind, uh, process it, make peace with it, and move forward. If you ever want to have anything with a man, family, or anything else like that down in the future, because the world doesn't owe you or me understanding. That's all I'm
Right.
saying. So,
I
um,
I had a question
and
too.
without doing that, jumping into a relationship without getting your mind right it's just a placebo. Sex ain't gonna make it go away. Money ain't gonna make it go away. There ain't enough happiness to fill the holes.
Yeah, and what you're saying, I still agree with you saying I need a therapist. But after my because my grandma, she's the one who really raised me, and she instilled, and my mom too. I don't know if it's okay to be spiritual here. Like I'm believing God and Jesus Christ, and I got close. I had built a relationship with him, and like even though I went through all that, like I'm not using that as like a pity, anything,
With
have a pity
Christ,
party, I'm yeah, like
you've built a
I
relationship with Christ. Okay.
yes. So
Okay.
I actually, I had a lot of losses, even more than that. But it took, it took when my cousin, she was only 29. She was very a beautiful soul. Like she sent everybody scriptures in the morning. And when she passed away, she had just had got something removed from her armpit, took her medicine, and didn't wake up. And when she died, that's when I prayed to God that He let me know
Ma'am,
my
I was
purpose.
baptized at 5 years old. I was baptized at 5. I believe, but there's a spiritual component of life, and there's a practical component of life. This part I'm talking about has nothing to do with the spiritual component. There's some practical things going on
Okay.
mentally because you've had a tremendous amount of death and loss that is hard to process, and especially without a familial support system. Your faith is fine, but we are on this planet and we are fallen. So the best thing to do would be able to go sit down and talk to somebody to help you process all of this so you can live a fulfilled life.
And it's like how you say like women, like even I was watching the other lady and like they have that, like they have a man who wants to take care of the household, then they just be like on a high horse, or they have a different mentality, the generational curse. I believe the way everybody's beliefs are like is the opposite of what it's supposed to be. So I've dated like two older guys, and I just got out a relationship with an older guy. He was about to be 40, and it's like amazing. Like their mindset is just like crazy, Like he was very manipulative and fit like emotionally and verbally abusive, and it's like I know how to, because I've been so independent. Like I know I'm like I got the disease to please, so it's like I know how to cater to my partner, and do what I need to do on my end, But I've never had anybody like willy nilly like take care of me, But I would be open to it. And it's like I know I think you said the percentage is like 80% of the like successful men or the men, and that they're singles. Like, are these men, are they gonna stay single? Are they even looking to wife somebody? And it's like,
Yeah, most of them do. You've been told that men don't want to get married, and that's not true. Um, but let me back up.
okay,
Um, in your state where you're broken, you're going to attract. It's easier to attract predators.
hmm.
That's why I'm saying you need therapy, because whatever your desire to please, that may be there, but you're going to have an unhealthy expression of it because you attract predators. Even in a short period of time that we've been together, you've said a lot of things that, given to the wrong person with bad intent, they could use it against you to get closer to you. That's not me. But what I'm saying is there's a way to be open and to tell people who you are without becoming vulnerable to them. And the way you don't become vulnerable to them is understand yourself. There's no reason to stop the tears and wiping them back and everything. You're supposed to cry. We've told people that you can't cry, you got to stay strong, and that's bullshit. But there's a way that you need to do it for you to where you understand that I've been through a lot. Life has been hard. It's had its challenges. Some of it's unfair. But if you believe, there's stories throughout the Bible to reaffirm your faith, but you still have to go down your path. Your path is your path. And I know a lot of times believers don't want to go into we want to just pray and go into the closet, and it's not for us to wrestle with God. It's for us to submit to the things that we have out here already. So even if you can't afford it, there are people who will sit back and give you most consultations with life coaches, but I actually would recommend an actual a psychiatrist, somebody who can diagnose depression, bipolar disorder. Difference is somebody who can actually prescribe medication, even short term, like Prozac, Zoloft, antidepressants, because these things can tend to help even 30, 60, 90 days just to get you kind of level to where you can kind of see clear for the first time. Don't close off any doors because that you don't know or the stigma of it. And the purpose is to just understand who you are, where you are. It's not to stay involved with a therapist or a counselor for 20 or 30 years. It's just to get you on the path to where you can actually go forward into life and not be so heavy or so burdened all the time. That makes sense?
No, it makes sense.
And they offer, you know, and often you just get online and just search psychiatrist or life coaches or psychiatrist or things like that in your zip code. Just go online and you should see a lot of different ones come up. And most therapists offer free initial consultation. And and go sit down with somebody and talk to them, or online, however they do it nowadays. And if you feel that person's comfortable, see them. If not, try somebody else. And folks are willing to make payment plans and work with folks, whether or not your insurance pays for it or not. But this is something that I really think you need to do for yourself and for your kids, so you can be the best mother you can be for them, because they're relying on you.
Right.
Do me a favor. On here is a message function on Instagram. Message me and just let me know that you did book your appointment. Can you do that?
Yes.
I don't need to know who you booked it with. I just need to know that you did it.
Okay.
You gonna do that?
Yes, I'll do that.
All right. I'm gonna hold you to that.
I'm a man of my word.
Huh. All right then. All right, young lady. Good night.
Good night.
Oh. Boop, 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 doop. That's a good one. What's going on, Chief?
I'm not going to take up too much. I'm not going to take up too much of your time. On the behalf of me, Alvin, and James, we really appreciate you as far as your knowledge and rocking the hat also too.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not going to take up much of your time. Hope I can get your other sizes in, that the colors that you like.
All right.
And a lot of people don't understand that you are a breath of fresh air. from one adult to the next one, and you leave no shortcuts. That's what people are used to, taking taking the shortcuts on how to either mend or fix their personal life or relationships. So we appreciate you. We are honored that you chose to wear the hat. And like I said, I'm not going to take up much of your time because you really have done a lot to help a lot of people with their issues, whether they call you consultant, life coach, or anything else. Alvin and I, James, Alvin and I and James, we're very proud of you on your moves and your success, and we hope plenty more.
Thank you, my friend.
All right. Have a good day. Look us up. All right, Kim.
All right, then.
All right.
Tag it. Bye-bye.
All right.
The twins, man. Look, man. So the first woman I was talking to, and that's why I said I don't want to detract from. It's hard to tell somebody how much something hurts. My broke arm and your stumped toe are two different levels of pain, but you don't minimize somebody's pain just because you feel like yours is greater. But in life, we do need to keep things in perspective. This is why I truly firmly believe in the Black community more than anything else. We desperately need individual therapy and counseling. We left 400 years of chattel slavery into so-called freedom. And the inability for us to just be fully human and cry and relate to one another. It sounds weird to keep pressing this, but if nothing else, the shows and interactions overall have shown that how beneficial it can be just sitting down with somebody who will just let you talk about your things that you got going on. So I'm never going to stop recommending that each of us get some therapy, even if it's just to get you kind of straight on the right path. All right, let's keep it moving. Melanin moments. We're gonna. I see her name is Melanin. It's past midnight. Oh my God. I'm not going to be on here long. We got a late start tonight. There's going to be more stuff on Instagram. Oh, I need to announce the winner. The winner. Let me get Melanin on here. Melanin. And is that woman that was on last night? She was funny. That one dancer. Uh-oh. Here we go. Motivational speaker. Okay, let's do it. I'll take on all comers. I thought it was a good discussion. Got to be taxing at the end, but hell, I can learn things too. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
I am well. Your first name is?
Aaliyah. That's my first name. Yes. My blog is called Melanin Moments, and I discuss different issues within the community. But I just want to say, I appreciate your insight. I appreciate everything, your advice, your suggestions, and even just holding us accountable as women. At first I was a little skeptical at first, to be honest.
Right.
But as I continued to listen to your lives, your podcasts, I became more intrigued as far as how you go about the conversation. And then also the last one I listened to was on Thursday, was the one about the young lady mentioning why can't pretty women who are professionals have it all. Mm-hmm. And I kind of want to get into the topic for today as far as, true or false is Valentine's Day, the fact that we changed it to the point that we fit our own. I know as women, when we feel like we are not included in something, of course, we're going to create something else. So we're going to, try to find a way to be included. And so with myself, like this Valentine's Day, I didn't spend it with anyone. I just sent out messages to my female friends, but then also it helped me realize like I don't need, in a sense of a man right next to me to feel like I am loved, to feel like I am, to make, I guess, so I won't feel lonely, and that's kind of what.
How old you are?
I'm 25. I'm 25.
All right.
Yes. And so right now I'm not dating. Well, I am. Well, I'm dating, but I'm not married. I'm not.
Right. Did you go to college?
Yes. I teach third grade now.
Okay. So you graduated?
Yes.
One of the things that I noticed in my mid-20s is in corporate America, that during the summer times, how my non-Black counterparts, men and women, were all going to weddings.
Mm-hmm.
We were going to the clubs. And when I hear women say that they affirm themselves to where they don't feel like they need a man, I'm always a little troubled when I hear that.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
What's wrong with needing a man? Or what's the issue with needing a man?
Mm-hmm. No, I'm definitely. I long for a marriage. I do. And it's funny because my dad, he's been married 5 times and currently married. And then my mom, she's like, well, make sure that you live your life, before getting into a relationship. But my mom's single.
Well, your mom and your dad, they live theirs. You get to do yours. Here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
What do you want?
I definitely want a husband. And looking for a husband, I'm looking for the same traits that I portray, as far as being compassionate, being selfless at times, being empathetic, being affectionate, and so.
Now you said looking for a husband?
Well, right now, of course, I want to look for a partner that we can build that friendship, and then, if God allows, build into a marriage.
Okay. See, first things I hear, you don't look for a husband. I mean, if you're Christian, right? He who findeth a wife findeth a good thing and obtain favor with the Lord. The presupposition is you're a wife.
Yes.
So if I suggest that, it's my simple suggestion, take it or leave it. If we're Christians, the best way for a woman to look for a husband is for her to become a wife. And then Boaz can hap up on you. Are you a wife yet?
That's definitely a great question. Try to model saying, am I ready for that commitment? As myself, holding myself accountable. Like, am I ready for the certain needs that my partner will need me to provide? And definitely, I tell myself I am a work in progress. As far as making sure that I am completely self-needs that.
What the hell is that? Where? So what do you do?
I'm a teacher. I teach third grade.
Okay. So you teach and educate others' children.
Yes.
And then it's a public school?
Yes, it's a public charter school.
Okay. So what percentage of the mothers that come there would you say are housewives?
Housewives.
Or married? Or married? How about that?
I'll say probably 5%.
Okay. Of your class?
Yes.
Okay. So, and then when you're not teaching, are you doing any kind of work in the community, philanthropic work, that kind of stuff?
Yes, I coach soccer as well.
Okay. So all of that you're giving to other people's children, and that 70, 80 years ago, you'd have been giving that energy to your husband. So you say, are you ready to give that level of whatever to a man, what do you have left? You see?
Right. Yes.
I mean, well, it used to be a time where black women had to take care of Miss Ann's kids because they had to make money to bring home for the family. So that's why you were to clean the house, you were the domestic, you were the cook, you were the wet nurse, you were all this other kind of stuff. We don't have to do that now.
Yes.
But we still take care of Miss Ann's kids and not making our own.
Yes.
25, it seems like you already have giving, but it's just going in an opposite direction.
Yes. Yes.
Now, I can also imagine having a father who's married 5 times your mother. Is your mother remarried?
No.
She's been single since your dad?
Yes.
So, you have any siblings?
I do. Yes.
Brothers, sisters, what?
Yes, I have 2 brothers and 4 sisters.
All from your mother?
No. It's
how many children does your mother have? That's what I'm concerned with.
She has 4.
And what is that? How many of those are boys?
Well, it's all girls for her.
Oh, Jesus.
Yes.
You know why I said oh, Jesus?
I don't.
Your mother strikes me as a woman who's going to raise a bunch of independent women because she had troubles with her man.
You're definitely right about that.
I know, yeah. And as nice as you are and as attractive as you are, if you don't mess around and start focusing on men and what you want, you may end up becoming exactly what you don't want to. Because when you said your mother told you, focus on this, see, if somebody could have told your mother back then, what I just told that young lady before you to get some counseling, the broken parts of her wouldn't be jagged little pills for you guys to swallow. Yeah. Because you have the ability, you're nurturing somebody else's kids. Well, the first kid you should be nurturing is yours, and then if you nurture theirs just to get some additional money, that's fine. But far too many of our sisters end up getting sucked dry by corporate America. Like I said, one show the other day, y'all are more married to the structure of the society than to us. And it's funny, you're more willing to go give your youth, your fertile years, your prime years to that, but yet you fear giving it to a man. Why?
Yeah. That's definitely, I definitely understand that, and I agree with you as far as just that commitment piece and giving my all, because I do give my all to my students and to my players.
What are you afraid of?
I guess like seeing failed relationships, seeing failed marriage, infidelity within marriages. Like, I guess that's where.
What about the successful ones?
I definitely have, see a couple of.
Hold on. Did you see them or do you focus on them?
I see them. I don't focus on them, though.
Well, what consumes your thoughts controls your life.
Yes.
It's a funny human condition that we focus on the very things we fear, and those are the things that become real. We have a 51% divorce rate in this country, right? 52, right? Something like that. But what about if I say we have a 48% success rate in marriage? Isn't that the same thing?
Yes.
Half empty, half full. But you're focusing on all the things that scare you. Do you make room for the fact that maybe the outcomes you want, that on paper you may have all of the things together, but emotionally you're not really ready? I mean, you're not qualified for it? Mm-hmm. Meaning, when you're in a relationship, when was your last relationship?
It was about 2 years ago.
How long did it last?
It lasted about like 2 years.
2 years. So you were 21?
Yes.
So if I asked him, being involved with melanin is blank, what would he say?
I would say, well, because we're still good friends. Currently, But I would say probably understanding, you know.
Who broke it off?
He did. It was his I don't get to do it to him because he watches you. So it was job related stress and everything. And so but
Are you guys in the same city?
No, he was in Atlanta and I was in Maryland.
All right, and he broke it off because of the distance. Were you guys living in the same city at the same time?
We would visit. We weren't in. No,
You were long distance.
Yes.
Okay, then that doesn't count. What was your last relationship where you were still in the same city?